Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any updates. Today, I want to share a story about unexpected moments that test our patience, our trust, and our love. It's about the morning the world watched a familiar routine unravel, revealing the deeper human experiences behind the cameras. Often, viewers see hosts as confident, composed, and always ready for the spotlight, but life behind the scenes can be far more fragile and real. Sometimes, even the strongest partnerships need quiet moments of reflection, and today's story is about one of those moments. One that changed the course of a beloved show and reminded us of the importance of honesty, patience, and compassion. The morning everything changed. It began on a Tuesday that felt ordinary, yet something was off. The countdown to air echoed through the studio. 2 minutes. 1 minute. Crew members bustled around, adjusting cameras and props, and the audience murmured in anticipation. Kelly sat in her usual spot, flipping through notes she already knew by heart, waiting for Mark, who was always punctual. But he didn't arrive. His absence was unusual. Mark had a way of making any entrance memorable, humming, dancing, and lighting up the room with his energy. Today, there was nothing. At first, Kelly thought it was just a minor delay, something fixable. But as the seconds ticked away, a quiet unease settled in. The stage manager approached with a note that would quietly shift everything, and Kelly realized she was facing a day unlike any other. The note that changed everything. The note was brief, handwritten, but it carried weight. "Kel, I'm sorry, I can't be there today. I needed to make a decision and I've made it. I hope you'll understand. M." Kelly held it in her hands, heart tightening. The audience remained unaware as the cameras rolled, and she greeted them with a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. Inside, she was processing confusion and concern. Mark was never impulsive. He always shared decisions, always trusted her with the truth. Yet here was a note that asked for understanding without explanation. After the broadcast, she closed the dressing room door and stared at the message, replaying decades of shared experiences in her mind. Celebrations, challenges, laughter, and tears. They had built a life together, yet this note left a space where clarity should have been. She needed to reach him, to understand what had prompted this sudden pause. Searching for answers. Kelly dialed Mark's number repeatedly, each ring stretching her patience and concern. The call went to voicemail, leaving her with only silence and the remnants of her worry. She whispered into the phone, hoping he would hear her plea. "Whatever this is, please just call me." Memories of years together washed over her, the shared mornings, the laughter, the shared commitments. The world outside could speculate endlessly, but none of it mattered until she heard from him directly. Time crawled slowly as she waited. The usual sounds of her home, the coffee mug on the counter, his jacket near the door, reminded her of his presence, yet he wasn't there. She realized that the moment of absence carried significance, not fear, a chance for reflection that only he could take. When the phone finally vibrated, it was the first step toward understanding, the first connection after a day of uncertainty. The conversation that healed. When Mark's voice finally came through, it was muted and soft, carrying both weariness and relief. He explained that he needed space to reflect, a day to step back from the constant performance of life on camera. He wasn't running from anyone or anything. He was recalibrating, rediscovering himself. Kelly listened, letting the words sink in, understanding more than she had anticipated. Their shared life and shared show had created a rhythm that was beautiful but relentless. Mark's honesty, though difficult to receive, was a gift, a reminder that strength isn't about always being present or performing. It's about knowing when to pause and take care of oneself. Kelly felt a mix of emotions, relief, concern, empathy, but most importantly, she felt understanding. She offered gentle support, acknowledging the courage it took for him to step away for even a moment. Finding perspective. Kelly realized that Mark's absence was not a failure, but a moment of honesty and self-care. The daily grind of television, the constant scrutiny, and the unending expectations had made him forget to prioritize his own well-being. This pause gave him clarity and, in turn, offered Kelly a new perspective on their partnership. It reminded her that love isn't just about being present in good times. It's also about giving space when needed, trusting each other's intentions and honoring personal needs. She saw that the choice to step back was a choice of authenticity, not abandonment. It was a lesson she could share, not just as a co-host or public figure, but as a partner and human being navigating life's complexities. Understanding became the bridge between fear and trust. Returning with grace. When the time came to face the public, Kelly approached the stage with a mixture of composure and vulnerability. She chose honesty over pretense, addressing the audience with warmth. "Mark is safe," she said. "He needed time to reflect, and I support him. Sometimes the hardest decisions are the ones we don't immediately understand." Her words were simple but genuine. She acknowledged that life in front of cameras can be overwhelming, that even the strongest people sometimes need space to breathe. The audience responded with quiet applause, sensing the sincerity behind her voice. Kelly had spoken not as a host, but as a partner and a human being, reinforcing that authenticity and empathy can transform difficult situations into moments of connection and growth. Private reflection and support. Later that evening, Kelly and Mark connected again, this time with the shared comfort of understanding. They talked about joy, about space, about supporting each other without losing sight of themselves. He described watching the sunrise, a small but profound moment of clarity, and she reminded him that he didn't owe the world an explanation. He owed himself peace. Their conversation reinforced the value of communication, trust, and love, proving that sometimes the quietest days hold the most meaningful lessons. Kelly felt her own worries ease, replaced by gratitude for a partnership resilient enough to withstand pauses, absences, and reflections. It was a reminder that life and relationships are not always linear. They are filled with breaths of pause that allow growth and reconnection. Life after reflection. In the weeks that followed, the routine of the show slowly resumed, but life had subtly shifted. Mark spent mornings away from the camera, reconnecting with simple joys and personal reflection. Kelly navigated the media attention with grace, responding only when necessary, choosing her energy carefully. The partnership between them had gained a new layer of strength. Space had clarified priorities and trust had deepened. While the network and media speculated, the couple focused on what truly mattered: their connection, their authenticity, and their well-being. The public narrative became secondary to personal truth. This period of reflection reminded them, and everyone watching, that even in high-pressure environments, pausing, listening, and caring for oneself and each other is an essential part of sustaining love and partnership. Lessons in love and humanity. Ultimately, the story of that morning, the note, and the pause is a testament to the power of empathy and human connection. Kelly and Mark's experience teaches that honesty, vulnerability, and patience are not weaknesses, but acts of courage. Life often asks us to perform, to meet expectations, and to maintain appearances, but stepping back allows clarity, healing, and authentic reconnection. Partnerships, whether personal or professional, thrive not only in moments of visibility, but in the quiet moments when space is granted, understanding is practiced, and trust is honored. Their story is a reminder that behind every polished exterior lies a human heart in need of care, reflection, and the freedom to breathe. It is a lesson in patience, love, and the quiet resilience that defines enduring partnerships.